Hey guys, it's Wednesday. You're watching Puck Time with the Prez. Lawrence Presman here, co-founder of WagerTalk Media, owner of WagerTalk.com, SportsMemo.com, and the iconic, legendary Gold Sheet. Quick reminder to everybody betting the Super Bowl, Ralph Michaels has an incredible prop sheet up on his page over at WagerTalk.com. It literally shows all the biggest the props that were bet the most over the last 10 years and their outcomes. It's absolutely crucial. You want to know whether a safety is a good bet, take a look. You want to know whether a team has scored 3 times in a row. It's all up there for you. Today's show, Buster Sports from WagerTalk.com. Carmine Bianco, one of my best friends, nicest guy around from WagerTalk.com. We're going to take apart 4 games in depth, and we're going to look at the last 2 very quickly. Let's bring the boys in. Buster, my friend, how are you today?
I'm good, Lawrence. I'm good. Little rough game with the Calgary game last night. I had Calgary first period money line and 2-1 with about a minute and a half going. So you figure you're good. Maybe you have to push if something stupid happens. Well, something really stupid happened. St. Louis scored 2 goals in the last minute 30, and I lose the game. So, but those things happen when you do this for a living. This is what they'll happen, and you just move on and live to fight for another day.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. We bet 365 days a year, give or take, and it's like, I mean, we go through hot streaks, we go through slumps, we go through consistent periods. It never ends, and you can't wear it, man. Carm, you had a bad night last night. It happens as well. I apologize.
No, the highs and lows are part of this sport. I don't get too big-headed when I have a very good run where a couple of weeks ago, or just under 2 weeks ago, there's like 11-1 run over 12 games or something like that, and then you run off 5 or 6 losses in a row, if not more, and you never second guess yourself. If you trust your numbers, just keep at it. And with that said, we're right back into the frying pan today, my friend.
Yeah, we're going to look at 4 games. Start with the Leaf game. Before we get there, Carm, I got to tell you about my hockey game last night. Look, we got on the ice. For some reason, the team we played against last night, I don't know, it was a 10:30 game. I mean, they were drunk or something. Some of these teams, especially with young kids, in their 20s, God, they're so mouthy. We literally got on the ice, and in the warm-up period, guys on their team were coming over to us saying, "Hey, Grandpa, gonna have a good game, Grandpa? Gonna get your ass kicked, Grandpa? What's up, old man?" We killed them. And, they are way faster than us. They have way more skill than us. And we kicked their ass. And I benched myself for the last 3 minutes because I just did not want to lose the game. So we put our best guys out. But nothing is better than beating these mouthy twats. Anyway.
Lawrence, Let me tell you, I'm going to quickly tell you, and then we're going to get into this. I know. I'm going to quickly tell you, I used to, and not ice hockey, but I used to play ball hockey. And we're not talking ball hockey in the roads, in arenas. And I played in Ontario, I played for a Tier 1 team called Adults Honda Canadians. And I was literally what you would call their enforcer. They sent me out there to stir things up. In my last season of playing for them, and I represented Canada in the Canadian Ball Hockey Championships in Edmonton.
Wow.
My last season of playing, it's just because it got too physical. When you have an office job, and this is going back, we're talking going back 20, 25 years ago. When you have an office job, you can't go in with cuts and bruises and this other stuff. You know what I mean? But some of these young guys just didn't care. And there was one game where I was in the corner and a guy headbutted me and literally broke my nose. And I'm on the bench and I'm just a sea of red. And Lawrence, you know me.
Dude.
I literally, the coach is like, we got to get you to the dressing room. I go, no, you're giving me another shift. And he's like, you're not going back out there. And I said, as I'm wiping and there's blood, I'm like, I'm going back out. And I like grabbed him by the neck. So he sends me back out. And I literally dumped the ball into the corner, and that guy ran to the corner, and I literally just, what you can't do now, I literally just cross-checked him into the thing, and then I start punching him, and I realize that the number on his jersey is not the guy who headbutted me. So then I run over to their bench, and I literally jumped onto their bench, punching every single person I could find. It was the funniest thing. A bench-clearing brawl obviously broke out. They did call the cops. There was no arrests, but it was literally my last game, and I was suspended for life in the OBHA, which is the Ontario Ball Hockey Association.
Yeah. It amazes me, dude. I mean, a guy breaks your nose, you react in rage, and you're the one that gets suspended. Let's get to it, boys. Dallas, minus 115 against the Leafs. The over and under is 6. Interesting total. Leafs score a ton. Dallas, the best defensive team in all of hockey right now. I think the Leafs are going to go on a run. I think they're a bet-on team. I don't know if they're going to get it done tonight. Dallas is so good. Buster, let's go to you first. What do you think on this game, my friend?
Prez, I just want to, I know we got to overroll it, but I just want to give a little shout out about today's Canadian Mental Health Day. And if you hashtag Bell Let's Talk, and you go on the Bell website, you can watch a video in the sense for mental health in Canada. And it's a great cause. It doesn't take you that long to do, and it's something that I think we all agree that is it needs to be done. So I just want to throw that out there, and and let's get on to this game. As far as this game, Toronto has kind of owned Dallas this year. Not this year, in the last few years. They're 8-2 in the last 10, although Dallas did win their last meeting last year. As you said, Prez, Dallas is really good and really good at home. They won the other night in overtime against Tampa, but they probably should have won that game even sooner. They do have trouble scoring goals, and that is a little bit of a problem for Dallas here. For me, Toronto, I know they won on Monday, but they are 2-5 in the last 7, and they could get on a roll, but they still have the same problems as with defense. And I know they got Jake Muzzin back last game, but they're going to need some help at the trade deadline. I'm not sure what they can do because they have such a great offensive team. They almost average, on the road, they're averaging over 4 goals a game. Almost, I think it's 3.87, something like that. And there's no doubt that it's going to be offense against defense tonight because Dallas is the best defensive club in the NHL, and Ben Bishop has been playing great himself. The reason I'm going to be on Dallas here is because the price. 115 at home for a team that's 16-7-1 at home. Geez, I mean, I know the Leafs could get on a streak, but they've got some really easy games. If you look down the road, they're playing. That's when this might be just a tough spot for them. It's their second road. They're just off that long break, and Dallas playing really good. Anderson could stand on his head and steal him for Toronto, but I'm looking to Dallas to win this game, maybe 4-2, 3-1, something like that.
Yeah, Carm, I get what Buster is saying, and I agree with it, although I'll be cheering for Toronto because I do not bet against that team. Where are you going in this game?
Yeah, I'm leaning on the under here. I think 6. I think this should have been one of those 5.5s, but it's not because of the Leafs, not so much Dallas. And I talked about prior to the Leafs' last game against Nashville that out of the break they would probably, if they could go 2-2 with the schedule that they had in their first 4 games, which were obviously Nashville, Dallas, and then Ottawa, and a very good Florida team right now, 2-2 with a favorable upcoming schedule would work out fine. I think they can do better than that. And it's games like this Dallas one and the Florida one that can literally jumpstart that second half and probably get the Leafs on a bit of a roll. They are getting healthy. I think they still make moves in a month at that trade deadline. But you look at the upcoming schedule, and it's the Rangers, Anaheim, Montreal, Arizona. And then on the 13th of next month, I will actually be taking you to this game. It's this same Dallas Stars team in Toronto. So we could see the Leafs on a pretty good run and win streak by the time we hit the Scotiabank Center to watch the Stars beat the Leafs.
Yeah, I got 9 games left, so I've got a lot of games left for the Leafs. Maybe 8. I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm not big on. I like Bishop as a goalie. His splits against Toronto aren't that great. 16 games. I think he's 500. He's 7-7. His save percentage is under 9. His goals against average is over 3. It's not that Ben Bishop, but we'll see what happens tonight.
Yeah, but he's playing outstanding right now. One of the hottest players in the league. Guys, Washington Capitals, talk about outstanding. I mean, I think this team has to be favored to win the Cup. They've won 4 in a row. They beat Washington without OV. He's back tonight. They're playing the Preds, and I mean, the Preds are literally in must-win mode from here on in. That division, that conference is unbelievable. So many teams, literally 1-2 points apart. Here we've got a game where Washington is favored -155 and a total of 6.5. And I look for this game, Buster, to go over the total. Where are you at?
I'm totally in agreement with you, Prez, on over the total here. These two teams getting together. They're 11-1-1 to the over. Interesting, though. Nashville has won 7 straight games against this club, so that's kind of weird. Sometimes, teams, it's such a mental hockey, such a mental game. Sometimes it doesn't matter if it goes back 4 or 5 years. That same team is like, hey, we haven't beat these guys in 3 years or whatever. But Washington is playing so good, and Nashville's playing their defense. They give up a ton of chances. It looks like Saros is going to be a net. He's been confirmed now in Hopi. So to me, that I'd rather see Saros, and especially when I'm betting a game over 6.5 here. For Nashville, as you said, Prez, they play the next 6 of their next 7 on the road. So this could be it.
Yeah.
This I know it's early still. I know it's still a couple more months, but they need to go out and start winning some games. They do have a bunch of games in hand on team like Vegas and Arizona. So if they can put it together, they might be all right. But what I saw from them the other night, defensively, yeah, I'm not letting, and they have such great defense. So that's what's really kind of throws you. And they're also the second best team 5-on-5. So something's just not there. I'm not sure what their locker room's like, but there's just something missing, and because that team has way too much talent to be doing what they're doing right now. But for me, this game, I'm on the over as well, Prez, over 6.5.
Guys, before we get to Carmine's take on this game, huge thank you to everybody for commenting yesterday. As you can see, we're using a new setup. Graphics are better. Everything is better, and we're only going to be making it better as well. So I'm excited about that. Carmine, where are you at in this Washington-Nashville game?
Yeah, the price is the game price 155. I don't want to lay that with Washington, although I think Washington's a far better team. Nashville threw in a clunker against the Leafs. I just don't like Saros in net. I don't like his splits either. He had a very good season last year, and it just seems like this year it's Pekka Rinne and UC Saros trying to figure out who's the number one goalie, and neither one wants it. And this is probably one of the reasons why Nashville's struggling. With that said, if I'm going to take Washington, I'm going to take them on the 3-way line and a regulation thing and have them win at their minus $1.10. With the caveat that this could very well go to overtime as well too. But one thing I am looking at, and you guys are on the total, is the first period total here, just because of the goaltending. Hopi isn't having that great last couple of months as well too. I think he's struggling, so I'll take the over 1.5 and lay a little bit of juice.
Carmine Bianco with us from WagerTalk.com. Guys, I'm on a 6-2 all sports run. I'm on an 11-2 NHL run. I have a hockey bet up tonight at WagerTalk.com. And I also have a promo code for you all, Prez79. That's $79. for one full week of all my plays, and that includes my Super Bowl pick and proposition sheet. Carm, I'll go to you first on this game. Tampa Bay versus the Kings. Seems like a lopsided, one-sided game. Two teams heading in the wrong direction. Tampa Bay on the road, minus 213. Kings at plus 185. We have a total of 6. And, you feel like you want to bet Tampa Bay minus 1.5 here, but this team isn't lighting it up of late. They're zigzagging completely. They just lost to Dallas. They've lost 3 of the last 5 games. I think I'm just going to lay off this one, brother.
No, I'm coming right back with Tampa here. I did say that the type of teams that Tampa seems to have struggled with this season is teams that play very well defensively and not in short spurts. Obviously, Dallas is a very good defensive team at home. Minnesota literally shut them down, shut that neutral zone down in that, also that 3-2 win. Both of those were 3-2 wins. And the Devils, believe it or not, the Devils literally played that neutral zone trap and they shut them down. Can the Kings do that? Well, yeah, you know what? The Kings play very well at home defensively, or at least they did at the beginning of the season. But if you've looked at the trend over the last, 2 months, is, they've been allowing goals. So, Columbus went in there, scored 4. Nashville went in there, scored 4. The Blues went in there, scored 4. So it's one of those things where I think we start to see it's like a progression, regression. We'll see regression from the Kings the rest of the season. And I think Tampa just continues to win. I think Tampa needs these 2 wins in LA and then Anaheim in either tomorrow or the day after. So it's Tampa for me. And although I don't want to lay that price, I will take the plus 1. Where is it? Plus 115, yep. I believe, and lay a $1.50.
Buster, what are you thinking here, brother?
Well, I'm thinking that tonight is going to be the first game in LA since Kobe's passing, and there's even some talk. I don't know if it's going to happen. I haven't. I've been studying too many other things going on earlier this morning, but there's even talk of them wearing purple and gold, the old LA King uniform for tonight. I'm not sure if that's going to be the case or not, but I just heard something about that.
Marcel Dion era.
Marcel, exactly. I know Marcel quite well. He's got a little shop down in Niagara Falls. He's a great guy. Anyways, 2 weeks ago, or maybe about a week and a half ago, LA actually went into Tampa Bay, and they played a great game. I actually took them on the first period money line. They're getting plus 190. They actually went out to a 2-0 lead, and Tampa tied up, so I ended up pushing that game. LA actually had the game in hand to win, and Tampa pulls their goalie, ties it up, and Tampa wins in overtime. Now, I know after Tampa Bay has only scored a couple goals like they did in Dallas, they really tend to go on the offensive. And as Carmine was saying, LA has gave up a lot of goals at home. But LA hasn't played yet. And if you look at LA, they've actually lost. They're 3-11 their last 14 games. But if you look at their games, they seem to be always in games. They're always right there. Empty net goal beats them in that for the most part. They're a struggling team. Quick is up and down. But I think with everything that's going on in that city, I think LA's going to get a little bit of a jump for the first period, and it's plus 150 or 160. So I like that. I also wouldn't. The total 6. You might want to play the over because Tampa Bay is going to score, and I think that last game that they played, they were up and down the whole game. I mean, I don't know what there's, I think it was like 40 to 39 shots on goal. I know that doesn't really, but shots at goal were up in the 70s. They just played a real up and down the ice game, and I expect that to be the same way tonight. So for me, it's going to be a little flyer in the first period for LA, getting about plus 150, 160, and I'll have a little play on the over 6.
Big game in Edmonton tonight. They're hosting Calgary. I think they're 1 point apart in the standings. And on top of that, There should be some bad blood on the ice tonight. Should be a super fun hockey game to watch. Calgary's lost 2 in a row. Edmonton has won 2 in a row. It's basically a pick'em car. Minus 120 for Edmonton with an over and under of 6 goals. I gotta like Edmonton in this spot. What do you think, Carm?
Yeah, they've looked good of late. This is, we joked around about the All-Star break coming at the wrong time for a team like Ottawa, who had won 1 in a row. But this is Edmonton's played well. That was a very good road trip that they had. They went into Boston, they won. They beat the Leafs, they beat the Canadiens, and then obviously they went to Calgary at the end of their trip and lost, in returning back to Alberta. But then they turned around and 2 very good games over Arizona and Nashville, putting up 11 goals. They're starting to come together as a team. Are they a playoff team? I don't know. I think they need to make a trade or two. But they've lost twice to, and I think we've talked about this before. They've lost twice to Calgary this year, and it's one of those things where. I always believe it's tough to lose 3 in a row to a team.
Carm.
Nashville beating Washington, but for me, it's Edmonton tonight. I think with Calgary having played last night and Edmonton coming out, I think they want to come out of this All-Star break and pick up where they left off.
Mr. Buster, where are you at in this one, my friend?
Well, it looks, I don't know if I'm going to actually make it to the window with this, but like Edmonton, if I do go, it will be Edmonton for myself. So that'll be all 3 of us. Calgary has won the 2 games earlier this year. And like Carm says, this is, it's hard to win 3. And Calgary's only 2-5 in Edmonton in the last 7 games. And Edmonton 5-1. They're playing some great hockey, like Carmen was going on about the All-Star break. It might have hurt them coming here because like they have been playing so good. Interesting enough, Calgary though they've 6 times they've been playing back-to-backs, and they're 2-4 on back-to-backs this year, and a couple of them have been really bad ones. I can remember when they went into Vegas on a back-to-back and got like slammed 6-0. They took a tough loss last night. Losing in overtime is always tough like that. And for me, like I say, I don't think it'll make my card, but I believe Edmonton is the play here because, again, the price is right. The price here, 120 at home.
I agree.
And yeah, so if I had to play it, it would be Edmonton for me as well, guys.
Buster Sports from WagerTalk.com. He's got a 2-pack of NHL plays up tonight. 2 games left to go. We'll talk about them real quick. Anaheim plus 105 against Arizona. Total is 5.5. Buster, where are you going in this?
You don't need to bet every game on the slate. I'm not touching this. I have no feeling. It's a total pass all day long.
Carm?
Arizona for me. Ducks are another team that I think are regressing, and I think we're going to see it through the remainder of the NHL season. And the price is low enough. This Coyotes team is going to get better. They are going to get better. They're building. This is likely not their year, but they're building for next year and the year after that. They're getting some young talent in. I believe this is a team that we'll see in the playoffs at least as early as next season. I'm not sure about this season yet, but they're the better team here. So it's the Coyotes for me.
San Jose, Vancouver. Total is 6. San Jose minus 110. Buster, I'll go to you first.
San Jose for me here tonight, Prez. Vancouver have been playing great, no doubt about it. They have been getting unbelievable goaltending though as well. Yeah. Markstrom will be in net tonight. He didn't play the other night, and San Jose's 8-1 in the last 9 games, and they beat them already this year 4-2. I know Vancouver leads the series 2-1 so far, but at minus 110, I got a team like San Jose, a veteran club that knows, are they going to be the next St. Louis Blues this year? Because that's what they're going to have to do. they could be capable of it if and only if they get the goaltending. And that might be a problem. But tonight, I'm on San Jose.
Carm?
Yeah, I'm on San Jose as well tonight. I think the better play here is likely the over. Martin Jones in net for San Jose tonight. Dell was in net for the previous couple games. Jones lost 9 of his last 10. He's got a terrible save percentage, but he seems to play well at home. And you know who doesn't play well on the road is Vancouver. As well as they're playing at home, and they've won 8 or 9 in a row. On the road, they're if you look at their past 20 games or so, they're littered with losses, and not just losses, like bad losses: 4-0, 5-2, 9-2, 6-3, 8-6, 6-1, 4-1. It's when they lose, they really lose bad. And as well as they're playing at home, sometimes it just doesn't translate on the road. So Sharks in the over here for me.
He's Carmine Bianco, the old guy with the mustache who's our age, is Buster Sports. I'm the Prez. We're all from WagerTalk.com. Privileged doing this show. Thank you, everybody. I hope you guys have an incredible night tonight. We'll see you tomorrow with Carmine again and the legend Dave Koken.